Right at it. Right at it. Oh,
Jordan
he's
Spieth.
done it again. Just as he did at the John Deere for his first win.
Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon. It is a great day. It's probably a great day if you're whenever you're listening too, but it's a great day when we're recording, that's for sure. It's episode 61, I believe. Maybe 62. We're losing track.
61.
61. So I was right the first time.
We just told you that 30 seconds before we.
I wasn't listening.
Forget.
We're here to recap the weekend as the Dolphins move to 3-0 on the season. Contrary to Mr. Putter's 1-2 and Jordan's 2-1. But I think the big story of the week is indeed Mr. Putter, because he's back.
And he's gone. Anyway, yeah, no, it was quite the weekend at the President's Cup. Obviously, we kind of predicted a U.S. Win. They only won by about 5, and I believe the internationals won the weekend. I think that's right, Jordan?
That's correct, yeah.
So it was really just the first 2 days that kind of separated them. It was 8-2 going into Saturday. It sort of felt like it was over, and then the internationals got it to 11-7 going into Sunday. And it was 11-7 going into Sunday. The U.S. sent out JT first, and he lost. And so it was kind of a like, if you add all that up, internationals are only down 3, and obviously Scheffler wasn't playing that well. Kisner didn't play all that well. Like, I felt like the Americans weren't maybe clicking on all cylinders, and they still made it look pretty straightforward. And a lot of that was due to kind of Spieth and Thomas kind of gutting up some matches in the early stages.
Kisner played his role.
Yeah.
Party man.
He didn't play good golf, though.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he was terrible.
Yeah.
He played his role as the team party leader.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, Kisner did a good job, but he wasn't the greatest golfer out there. Granted,
better than the Canadians.
Corey Connors and Taylor Pendrith were 0-8. I mean,
0-8.
they were halfway to a Detroit Lions. Like that's.
I mean,
Detroit
this is not what we're talking about, but you could have put Jack Nicklaus out there in place of Kisner, and they still would have tied that 4-ball match on Friday. They didn't take a single one of his scores.
Well, yeah, because Burns was carrying. Poor Burns only got a point.
No.
Cam Young.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Cam Young played with Kisner, and Cam Young was on fire, and he was carrying hard.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Kisner he just hopped on somebody's back and said, "I'll bring the beer." So
he played his role, though.
Yeah, no, he brought the beer.
He did bring the beer. Afterwards, we saw after the President's Cup, but the President's Cup was about what I expected. I said in the preview that I expected it to be closer than the Ryder Cup, but the U.S. would really never be in doubt. And it got a little dicey on Sunday, but I mean, the internationals would have needed to do. They would have needed to pull a Medina and do what happened at Medina, and they just didn't have that firepower. And again, the U.S. is just too good. It would have been really cool. I mentioned it in the preview as well. If the live guys would have still been here, I think it would have been really competitive, especially considering I think the U.S. only ended up winning by like 4.5.
It was 5.
Was it 5 points? I mean, you could easily make a case that if you pull in Cam Smith, Neiman, Answer, Louis, that those 4 guys make up the 5 points, especially when Pendrith wouldn't have made the team. Corey Connors probably would have been on the team regardless, but he was horrible. It just would have been interesting, but it was fun. We got to see more Tom Kim, which I'm sure we'll get into. He was electric. There were Americans rooting for Tom Kim to beat the American on Sunday, which was pretty, I guess.
Did Tom Kim play again?
Homa,
Homa.
who was also amazing this week too.
True. Homa went undefeated in
Yes.
his debut.
So yeah, I don't know where we want to. Do we want to start with Tom Kim? Like, what's the ceiling for this guy?
What's cool about Tom Kim is you have Americans, an American audience gravitating towards him. And that's kind of what I think the PGA Tour's needed is, I mean, Greg Norman's coming up with this whole they don't want to grow the game, they want it to be only US based. And here comes Tom Kim, who's South Korean, and you got Americans rooting for the South Korean to beat the Americans and to beat the American in singles. It's good to have stars that aren't American. And it only helps to grow the game even further.
Yeah, I think he's relatable though, in a sense too, or just more so than like Hideki's a star, but I think a lot of people love Hideki because of his pure three woods, right? The golf shots that he hits. And Tom Kim, while people love the golf shots that he hits, they also love the like swagger and the fire and the shoot, he's 20 years old kind of aspect to it, right? And kind of the innocence of I don't really know what it's like to be fired up like that and kind of have it backfire or deposit some golf balls into Ray's Creek or anything like that. Sorry. But like he just doesn't. He doesn't yet. I'm sure golf will catch up to him at some point, but it's really fun to watch. And you're right. I mean, it's cool that there's another kind of international superstar sort of taking place of one that kind of had formed this year in Cameron Smith. And I think that just speaks to the depth in the golf game globally. And we'll see kind of what he does at some of the majors because that'll be, I mean, Tom Kim at Augusta is going to be must see TV, right? So I'm already pumped for Augusta.
Well, I mean, there's definitely a reason to be pumped for Augusta when Spieth goes 5-0-0. You know, you look back at the 2021, 2022 FedEx Cup season and Scotty Scheffler was the player of the year. And you go back to Whistling Straits where he just played phenomenal golf. He put a beat down on who was the number one player in the world at the time, John Rahm in singles, and then he goes on to have a career year. Spieth's obviously already had his career year, but who says we can't add another one going into this upcoming season? And if he plays like he did at Quail Hollow, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Mr. Woods?
There are a few. I don't want to get too high on the horse because of 1 week, but one thing that really got me was when JT said that he had seen Jordan working really hard on his putting, and it's nice to see he's finally found something. Which is good because I feel like one, we know he's been trying. We know he knows that there's a problem. He's been working on it. Two, I think he felt like because he said that on Friday. I think he felt like he saw something that he saw. Whether I mean, it's a huge. It was just huge to see him putting with such confidence. Because that was the main thing. It wasn't necessarily that they were going in. It was how posed he looked on the greens. I mean, we haven't seen that from him since Valero, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. I kind of think though, like part of the confidence that you talked a little bit about is the fact that they just started going in from everywhere. Like the singles match was one was a lot of fun, but two, it was it was vintage, right? Like made a 25-footer on 4, 20-footer on 5. What did he make? Like 30 feet on 7 to halve the hole after driving it into the water. Good save on 10, good 2 putt on 9, and then he drove the green on 11, which was sick. bomb on 13, clutch 4-footer on 14. And it's like, man, he's kind of back to being. It was a glimpse of what Spieth of old was like, and that was really cool. I don't think that's. I don't like if this was a stroke play event. I don't think he has a good week, but I don't think it's like a winning week. Like I don't think 5-0 kind of represents that he was the best stroke play player there. But I
Yeah.
do think, dude,
He made a lot of birdies.
yeah, but he's still. I mean, he's splashed like
Yeah, but that's just the way he was playing
7
the golf
He
course.
did
Keys
kind of
or
suck
2.
early on.
They
No,
did
He
I
had
get
some
some
that.
really
pairings that
bad
were pretty
shots, but
bad.
who cares? Who cares?
It's a
Doesn't
tough
matter.
venue too. Like we got to
Doesn't
take that
matter.
into account.
No, I get that. He made a lot of birdies, and you can't deny that. And I think that's the more important part. And obviously he won every match, which is kind of all up to the draw again. You know, he didn't face Tom Kim on Saturday, who just kind of ran through everybody. Didn't play God, who was the team? It might have been the Munoz team on Friday in the 4-ball. I think Munoz and KH Lee maybe shot a best ball of 63. Uh, so he didn't play that like 5-0. It was very good. He definitely looked very, very good. But I think, there's always a grain of salt to everything, and I hate to be the guy to bring that up, but I think it's worth just kind of noting that that's part of it, and we can note that, but still enjoy the fact that he was fantastic, especially on Sunday with the putter, and that must have just felt so good from a tracking perspective, Jordan, like to actually be like, man, he's actually like making stuff instead of just like, there's another missed putt, and I don't know, like what'd you guys think about kind of the whole tracking experience this week, especially with covering international shots as well? It must have been.
It's a lot. It's a lot because like, I mean, you could be covering 4 golfers at once, so that's tough. And then, in all honesty, on Sunday I was tracking, but I was locked into the Ravens Patriots game. Um, but yeah, I was into it. I think, I mean, it was he was off at like 12:15ish on Sunday, and he goes bogey bogey. So I'm thinking, here we go. We're about to be 0-7-1 in singles, and then he starts to turn it around, and it all started when I think he made a 30-footer to save par on 4, was it? And then
No, he hit a crazy shot out of the rough on 3, somehow got that close, and then he poured in a birdie on 4 and 5, got him back.
I know he made like a 30-footer early.
Yeah, on 4.
And then after that, he wiped the floor with Mr. Davis. He looked really. I mean, he looked confident all week. I was talking to a follower on Instagram, and I'm trying to think how we could fit Quail Hollow into his schedule. I think, if you look at Jordan's wins in his career, I think that like 12 to 13 under target score has always been a pretty decent score for him to win a tournament at. And that's exactly what Quail Hollow is. I know it's in a pretty crappy location on the schedule. And I think he talked about after one of his rounds this week that he would play there every single year if it wasn't for the scheduling conflict. I think he could play it. It'd be like 5 in a row, week off, and then like 3, 4 in a row again, which is obviously tough. But like after this week, I mean, it'd be fun to see him play the Wells Fargo there.
Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to say as well. Also, I didn't watch any of the weekend. I had a huge tournament for school. I didn't see any.
Did you
of the
play
weekend.
well?
Unfortunately, no. I made 2 quads en route to an 88.
Oh,
But the course is so pure,
there you
so
go.
pure.
Half folk type of guy.
It was so long though, and it was windy, and it was on the Cape, and it was really tough. But and the greens are rolling at a 14, and we have not seen greens in Mass above a 10 all year. So it was ridiculous. But nah, the glass wasn't really half full. I was pretty devastated. But because we were the defending champs and we all crapped the bed. But it is what it is. But yeah, I didn't get to see the singles match, which is sad because I know that's been the thing on the bucket list. I know Jordan, you had that in one of your goals, right?
No,
No,
Oh.
I thought you did. Oh well.
I had making the
Nope.
team one of my goals, which I was. I don't know if it was easy.
Well, it
but
was one of my goals to win a singles match. So
There you go.
Yeah. It's good to he said it, just get it off the back, right? It's like going into Rome next year, which I don't know how much we're gonna get into this, but I think the US team's pretty set for Rome, barring injuries and if somebody pops this next year.
is Rome long? Like or like what is it?
I doubt it.
I
All right, so
they'll-
safe to say that Mr. Kisner will be getting redemption.
No.
Kisner will not be in
Mr.
Rome.
Kisner will not be making the trip. Maybe as like he could be a vice captain.
He
Maybe
could be an assistant
Who's the
captain.
captain?
It is Zach Johnson, I believe.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Kisner definitely could be an assistant captain. The yeah, it'll be not terribly long, but it'll be tight.
Yeah.
Good rough, and obviously they'll hope for some wind and rain and all that good stuff. I don't know what the European team's gonna look like. Obviously, I think that's the big question mark. But given that it's a home game for them, I think with the US having both cups in their back pocket and the team kind of already together for a kind of session is definitely beneficial going into the Ryder Cup next year. So I'm looking forward to that as well. A lot of things to look forward to in golf, I feel like, now that the season's over. But I don't know how much I'd be looking forward to them if Spieth was like 1-3 this week,
Well,
Definitely go ahead.
so Spieth's probably gonna play the Zozo.
No.
No, which
CJ
one's the one
Cup.
in the United States?
CJ Cup. CJ Cup.
Okay, so that's the one. I
Yeah,
was thinking of. So we'll probably play that, and that's
Yeah.
probably it.
Ah,
right?
Hero World Challenge,
All right.
and PNC.
and the PNC Championship, which is awesome for him. But
Yeah, I do.
Well, I'll be there.
Really?
As Bob Woods.
Oh, right,
Oh,
right. Forgot about
yeah,
that.
it'll be fun.
I can see from your photo you're pretty excited about it.
I know, right? No, this is brilliant. Low key. What a photo.
Yeah, no, actually, I know we're talking about the President's Cup, but I thought the PNC was an interesting kind of. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of really good momentum right now. He hasn't had this kind of momentum in, I guess you could say, after winning RBC, but it didn't even feel like he just hit the ball well. He didn't putt.
after Valero last year.
Right. Yeah, he hasn't
Really,
had,
that whole stretch last year.
yeah, he hasn't had that like good like feeling in a while. And he hasn't taken it into an off season in a while. Because usually it just ends with the FedEx Cup playoffs, which is kind of a disappointment. And then he plays like meh at either the Ryder Cup or President's Cup if he made the team, at least these past couple years, which I guess he only missed one team, but you kind of get my point. And then it's like, all right, so where are we feeling in the off season? Kind of how much time is he taking off? And the CJ Cup is in a month, right? 4 weeks. So, a couple weeks off, and then a couple events in December, before, well, he'll be playing golf.
Are we
in
calling the
December.
PNC an event?
Yeah, that's a little
The
bit.
Hero is an event. I'll give that its due. There's world ranking
Yeah,
points, so like you're
it's
playing
like an
for
event.
someone.
An event.
It
and a
would
half.
be my absolute boost for them to take down Team Woods and Team Daly in the final day. That would be electric. Are you kidding me?
And Team
And
Thomas.
Team Thomas.
Team
And Team
Oh
Thomas.
my god.
That'd be cool. I don't think Team Stenson will be there this time.
Unfortunately.
That'd be hilarious. Could you imagine?
This kid's hilarious.
Stenson just shows back up is like, nope, I'm playing. I have to defend my 8th place or whatever you got last year. But no, just playing golf before the Tournament of Champions and the next, well, Tournament of Champions and East Lake attendees in 2023, just to get a little bit
Pisses
of
me
like a
off.
feel. Kind of felt like when he showed up at Century last year, it was just you didn't get this sense that he had played a ton of golf, you know.
I agree.
I'd like to see Houston.
Yeah, I would too. I remember that course was
Relatively difficult.
It had some quirks. We'll put it that way. But I don't know why he wouldn't, unless he just doesn't want to.
I think there's a decent chance of that. I'm looking at their website right now. They have one announced commitment, which is Scotty.
What's the
Fraud.
what yeah, we could get into Scotty for a little bit, but what weekend is it?
It's in the middle of November. Like it's perfect. November 10th through the 13th.
Damn, Texas football lost.
Shut up.
Wow. They did. The Texas 10, nobody talked about it.
Well, I wasn't watching because I had the tournament, but like, man,
Well, I was just
I
thinking,
checked and we were up like 16 points.
yeah, you lost. But I was just thinking Spieth it's the Texas TCU game that weekend. Didn't he skip the Shriners like 2 years ago?
Yes,
At a football game.
he did. That was whack.
Yeah. So who knows if he wants to go see Texas TCU, but we'll see. Houston, I'd like to see him play the Houston.
Or maybe we'll get him at Mayakoba.
I don't know. I mean, JT goes to Mayakoba.
Of
So
Of course.
Ricky goes, so
Well, it's a
never know.
Ricky type event. I mean,
Yeah.
No, Ricky's back. Chill.
Didn't he just get a top 5?
Yeah, Ricky's back. And he just broke the
That was
course record at the 5,800-yard course.
Oh yes. Well, unofficial because the first putt was a
All right,
gimme.
he did like a good or something.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. No, he looked really good at the Fortnite though. I know.
Yeah.
Fortnite, excuse me. But
are we
yeah.
really considering that a real tournament?
The Fort.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it's Max Homa's freaking bank account.
Yeah, but it's still like
It's not
mean,
even that bad. It's better
you'd have
than
to-
Sanderson Farms, right?
True. That's all.
you'd have to look up the OWGR,
The chicken box at the Sanderson Farms.
but it's kind of I mean the
I honestly think in the last like 3 years, I've watched every golf tournament at least one hole besides the Sanderson Farms. I don't think I've watched a whole. I don't even know what state they played in.
it's in Mississippi or Alabama. I actually don't know. Mississippi?
Is it Kentucky?
I think it's Mississippi. That would be my guess.
Let's see. Sanderson Farms is in Mississippi. Yeah.
Because I remember Sergio won
Oh my god.
one weekend, so I watched the final hole and he hit like
Mr.
win.
Thigala is in the field this week.
yeah, he
Wow.
almost won last year, I think.
Sam Burns, the defending champ.
Burns, yeah. So I mean, look, the fall events are not very good. It's kind of
There's like 2 big fall events.
yeah, it's kind of a bunch of John Deere's
John Deere's.
bring together.
mean.
Honestly, the John Deere might be better than those events. Like just with the people they get. I have no idea. But yeah. I would do it, Bob. You mentioned Scheffler being a fraud. Do we-
No, I was kidding.
Well, no, I know. I figured you were what's that? Exaggerating, hyperbole, whatever kind
Yeah,
of
but
there.
another thing to keep in mind is that like it's so hard to like keep that type of play up. You know, like when you play that well for that long, like eventually your let off is going to be very evident and clear. You know, he's so talented that like he'll be fine. He'll never get to where he was this year, but
Right.
he'll be fine next
I
year.
think too, just some of the stuff early in the season when he ripped off all those wins, it felt like he made everything and chipped it really close every time and hit like he never hit a meh shot. It was always like pretty good. And now and that's just not sustainable, right? I mean, you kind of just said it. So I'm interested to see though, because he kind of gave away Colonial a little bit. And then the East Lake, what did he have? A 6-shot lead at one point on Saturday or Sunday. Obviously, Rory clawed back and won, but Scotty kind of he hasn't closed some things out recently, and you're not going to do that all the time. But I was definitely expecting a better performance this week. I mean, Sam Burns kind of carried him the first couple of days, and they still couldn't get anything done. And then Munoz boat raced him. Brandon Munoz was actually pretty good this week,
Yeah.
but Scotty, I don't know. It was just a weird week to be the world number one and be one of the lowest point getters on the entire team.
Yeah, I mean Scotty's I don't think unless he I'm looking at his stats right here in Data Golf, and he hasn't putted well since Augusta. Like it's actually insane, like how bad he's putted since Augusta. He's lost strokes in 8 of 11 tournaments with the putter.
Wow.
Like it's been pretty brutal. Like he's obviously ball struck it like really well. It's the only reason he's been in tournaments. I know Rory's playing a couple events this fall. It wouldn't shock me if Rory gets back to number one in the world by January 1st.
I think I
Rory
saw
is a man on a mission.
yeah. I think I saw a Nosferatu tweet though in the old OWGR.
He'd be number one, yeah.
Rory would be number one right now. Yeah. But he might fall to number 3, and Cam Smith might move to 2, which is kind of interesting, given that Cam Smith is not playing like OWGR sanctioned events. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, but
lucky for Cam Smith, he's exempted the majors for what, 5 years, 10 years? It's
I think it's 5.
And he's in the Open until he's like 60.
Yeah. So
unless they change it, I guess we'll have to see where that goes.
Man, Cam Smith is so good. It kind of sucks he went.
The more I think about those like majors making decisions about live, I kind of just think they're not gonna do anything, and it's just gonna be kind of the way it is now. It's like we have 2 separate entities, and they all get together at the 4 majors, and it sucks that they don't get together more. But the PGA Tour will have new stars kind of move in, and we'll see. I don't know. It'll be I mean, like I think I said this last pod, but I haven't watched a live golf like shot since the first weekend, to be honest. And I think part of that is just because the only thing I see about live on Twitter is the live golf enthusiasts who are slandering the PGA Tour. Which, whatever. You feel how you feel about the PGA Tour and what they're doing. But I don't see as many tweets about like what the leaderboard is, or who's playing really well, or kind of what's going on other than Bryson getting decked by a rope.
That was
which
top moment of the year for me.
Which is one of the greatest videos ever.
Easily. That's like I'm trying to think of some other just like videos that I couldn't live without. I'm trying to think.
Opening highlights.
I mean, I will watch that video I'll show that my grandkids that video.
Yeah. No, it's a great video.
Just the way he literally acts like he's 12. the way he says, "Oh, you're kidding," like whatever he said, it couldn't have been more perfect.
He's a special individual.
He is
Yeah. He probably would not have been on the President's
on
Cup
the
team.
PGA Tour. He was really changing the game, and everyone was chasing his distance, and he just threw it away
Yeah.
because he's irrelevant on Love Tour.
Has he even played well on Live?
I don't think
He's
so.
played all right.
What team is he on?
I don't even know.
4 aces. I'll
No,
tell you
the
that.
4 aces are insane.
No, I said yeah, not the 4 aces.
Yeah, they're a powerhouse,
They are.
unlike the Pats.
All right.
What you mean the Pats and Pat Perez?
True.
I saw something
Perez.
about we're getting off track, but I saw something about like the Live Team Championship and
Yeah.
how all the scores will count for each team. So Pat
Mhm.
Perez can't afford to actually play poorly.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Wait, what'd you say?
For
There's
the go ahead.
go ahead, Jordan. No, you got it. You got it.
For the team championship, Bob, for Live, every like player on each team score contributes to like the team score. So Pat Perez is actually gonna have to play good for the 4 aces to have a
Most of the
chance.
4 aces are cooked.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pat
I don't
Perez is terrible.
He is really bad.
As are most of them.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
They got-
they've got what 5 good players currently, like in form. DJ, Cam, Joaquin.
Yeah.
Bon,
True.
Varner.
Varner. Yeah.
Well,
Maybe Gooch is playing pretty well, I think, actually, right?
yeah, Gooch is pretty good.
I can't stand it. Oh, he pisses me off.
Yeah.
Well, he's just his brain cells are really lacking.
I he's just
He's
some
said
of the stuff he has
something,
said since he's went to Live about the tour just really irritates me. But
Yeah. And I'm sure you've seen who are the 3 people still left on the lawsuit?
Matt Jones, Bryson DeChambeau, and
I think it's Peter Uline, maybe.
yeah.
So that fizzled out pretty quickly.
I could not tell you what 2/3 of those guys looks like.
Peter Uline is a scrub.
Actually, I know what Matt Jones looks like. He's the one who stole the 7-shot lead from Wise last year at the Honda.
Yeah. Peter Uline actually came in second at the last Live event.
Yeah. Matt Jones didn't steal it. He kind of just took it because it was being handed to him.
True. It
Poor
was
Wise.
handed to him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe Wise will be a guy that makes the Ryder Cup team next year.
Well, unfortunately, he probably deserved it this time as well.
Yeah. I think that's the problem.
No, I don't think why it was always going to be Thigala first, though.
Yeah, that's fair. But I also the Ryder Cup next year, I think they've got 10 guys locked in, and then Will Zalatoris. So there's one spot.
Who are your 10 that are locked? And I'll disagree or agree.
Okay. Spieth, JT, Cantlay, Schauffele.
Zalatoris.
Zalatoris. I'm thinking of the 10 guys that were there this week.
Oh,
Finau for sure. Colin.
Homa.
Homa.
Probably.
I think Homa will be there.
He went 4-0. How could he not be there, to be
I
honest?
think Cam Young will be there too.
Mhm.
And I don't know how many names that is. The only guys are
Everyone besides Horschel and Kistner.
Yeah. And then throw in Zalatoris, and then you have room for one more.
Maybe it'll be
Yeah, I
Bob
agree.
Woods.
Could be Bob Woods.
I'm going to need to improve my 88s.
Yeah. That's a very valid point from Mr. Woods there. No way Tiger could play in that, right? Like, are we to the point where Tiger is
Irrelevant.
No, he'll never be irrelevant,
I
but
know.
like irrelevant on a leaderboard, maybe.
It's so
We're-
tough.
we're- I think we're at the point where we could put Woods on the team and still win.
You might be right, but it's just like sad because like I assume like you guys saw the thing from Charlie was playing some event in Florida, and
Yeah.
like all the news about Tiger is like bad. Like he doesn't walk well. I mean, he's taking a cart everywhere, which I guess is normal. But like he's got that big sleeve on his leg. If you look at his leg, it looks deformed. He can't walk normally. It's just sad.
Yeah. And I kind of think when we saw him at Augusta and he made the cut, and people were like, "Oh, well, the leg is only going to get stronger and he'll have more time to practice." I just don't know how much stronger the leg is actually going to get, you know? Like I think his leg is kind of like, unfortunately, it's going to be what it is. And maybe it'll get a little bit stronger, but I think at this point he's going to have a limp or a gait, I guess. And that makes it tough to walk up and down major championship courses in major championship settings. And it'll be, I think, which makes it when he shoots a couple under par in Thursday at Augusta in 2023, it'll be amazing, fantastic. But I don't know if we will see uber competitive golf at the PGA Tour major level from Tiger. And I want to see it, but it's just everything that we keep hearing, it seems like the progress is not as rapid / as maybe possible as we had hoped. And I hope I'm wrong, but that's kind of what we're hearing, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys are hearing anything different. No.
I mean, that's about it. I mean, it's tough. Again, like people say he's gonna get stronger. He doesn't want to put in the hours anymore, and I can't blame him. Like he used to say, I mean, the guy in his prime would putt for hours and hours and hours. He said he can't do it anymore, and I don't think he wants to do it anymore. Why should he want to do it anymore? He's got nothing left to prove. I mean, the guy's in physical pain pretty much every single day he wakes up. That's not fun. The treatment he's got to go through to compete. I mean, I think a cart would help, but like that's just not the way he rolls.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Do you think he could get one at where the PGA? Like would the Masters give him a cart?
See Tiger just cruising around this cart.
There is just no chance he would ever take cart.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
more the point. That's just not who he is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, and he can probably will himself, especially at Augusta, because he's had all the time off to walk for 4 days. But I do wonder too, like, how well will he adapt to potentially going to the Open like he did this year and just playing a couple rounds and leaving, right? Like, how well does that sit with him of not playing the golf that he knows he's capable / wants to play and hurting him, like feeling pain to do that every day, how much at a certain point it has to like
Yeah, suck.
One way to put it.
Yeah, it's very straightforward the way of putting that. I don't
You're
know.
welcome.
Yeah. Any other President's Cup final thoughts? Any word games from Jordan?
Word games.
Well, do we have a question of the day?
We do. We have a couple options.
Yes.
'Cause I thought of one, and it's not as much as debate, and it's a little like open-ended, and it was on one of my applications the other day.
For what? What are you applying to?
It doesn't matter because I didn't get in, so we're
What
just
was
gonna
it?
that. No, I'll tell you guys later.
All right.
Oh.
That's fair.
So this other one I came up with, it's not that great. But so I'll drop that one first. Let's see what you guys think.
Okay.
But it's just what favorite gum one, do you chew gum? 2, favorite brand. 3, favorite flavor.
I love it. I love that question. I'll start it off. I'm brutally addicted to gum.
I'm actually not surprised. Like that seems like something you just be munching on all day.
A past person got me hooked on it, and I just have never gone back. I chew it at any time I can, and I am straight spearmint.
What brand?
Um,
Doesn't matter.
it really could be any brand, but what's the green brand?
Trident?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
just don't like when spearmint's white. Like when they make it white, it's not good.
White.
Yeah.
But isn't that the blue kind? So that'd be winter mint or something?
No, there's a white spearmint.
Okay. All right.
Trust.
Good answer. Jordan, do you have a
I
gum?
do. It's hilarious. I was thinking this morning, I'm out of gum, so I gotta go get more. My favorite gum would be Icebreakers Ice Cubes.
Oh,
I don't know if you've had them. They're
Yeah.
really good.
what flavor?
I honestly like all of them. They're all pretty darn good. If I had to go with one, Wintergreen's pretty good. Um, I like cinnamon gum. I like cinnamon gum. That's good.
Oh wow.
They have regular bubble gum, but if you haven't had Icebreakers Ice Cubes gum, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. I've enjoyed a couple ice cubes.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually eat gum very much. I did growing
Me
up.
too.
I just don't buy it now because one, I have to wear a retainer all the time. So it's like then I'd take it out and chew gum for an hour and then put it back. So it's like, I don't know. But Polar Ice from Extra for some reason is probably my favorite. I used to eat like those when you were a kid, right? When you're 10 and you enjoy those like candy flavored gums, those like Trident Orange or the like Trident Layers Mango or whatever it was. Those were the best gum. 5 gum was really popular for a while. I don't know where
Five gum is pretty good.
Yeah. That was big in 5th grade. We'd trade sticks of gum.
There you go.
But yeah, so I guess we'll just stick with that one.
That's solid. Gum
That
is
was an
expensive
elite
too.
question.
Gum is expensive.
Yeah. No, well, that's the other thing. I'd rather spend that however many dollars on some Sour Patch or something.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there.
Sour Patch is so good.
I love Sour Patch.
I actually am eating some right now. And I wish that my camera was working so I could show you all and rub it in your face because it is so good.
Do you have you ever put them in the fridge?
No, I need them like soft and
Oh, that's fair. But cold Sour Patch, fantastic.
is it elite? Do I need to go do it right now?
You think you
Give it
should
a
try
try.
it? Yeah.
Jordan, is it that good?
It's pretty good, yeah. I
What's
can
the
say
difference?
It's just like I think I like them a little bit firmer.
Yeah.
The cold.
That'll be clipped.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad I can provide some entertainment. Yeah, that's all I got over here. I don't know if you guys.
In fact, that clip will be out before the podcast gets out.
You're terrible. I like a second question pod.
No,
Oh.
we can say that for next time.
All right.
I go, ooh.
All right, that's fair. Everyone will have to listen to the next podcast then. Which
Yeah.
I don't know when that'll be.
Well, I need a few weeks because I am in the dead center of applying to colleges right now.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's pretty stressful actually.
Yeah.
It's people people always say junior year is the hardest or the most stressful. But I think senior year, the first like 2 months is probably more.
Yeah, but then you're free.
I don't know what you think, Jordan. Yeah, well, yeah. Not
Junior is a lot.
junior year is a lot, but I feel like senior year is a lot in the first like 8 weeks.
Senior
that's
can be
fine.
a lot. It just depends if you've already if you know where you're going.
That's fair.
If
Good
you
point.
don't know where you're going, I mean, it's like
Fuck,
crunch
yeah.
time. Then you're stressing.
Well, I basically know where I'm going based on where I get in.
That helps.
Yeah, like I have it ordered out.
Yeah, but you still got to fill out the apps and stuff like that.
Well,
So
I'm only applying to 5 schools.
That
still,
helps.
It's pretty easy.
do they have essays?
Well, they have the Common App essay,
All right.
which I wrote last May, so I'm fine. The mini essays will be done the night before it's due. I can guarantee you.
Hmm.
Hope the application people aren't listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway. Well, I wish you good luck.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Maybe have a guest on at some point. We haven't
That's
done one of
true.
those in a while.
Oh yeah, we'll have to because I have a few lined up that I think I've talked to you guys about that we could make happen. That would be pretty sick.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sounds like a plan. So
happen.
So
we'll be back in a few weeks, probably with a guest. Stay tuned for
Yes,
that.
I agree.
all right, folks.
Peace.
Take care.